Hey, Tony here with this audio, and thanks for joining me on another episode of Love What You Do, Do What You Love. I'm here with Ryan Riback, DJ, producer, songwriter, remixer, father, all-round good guy, all the above. Ryan's here because he loves what he does doing, and he's going to tell us a little bit tell me a little bit about your story, because you are should I say a platinum award-winning remixer? Is that what I would you,
possibly?
Would you like to wear the hat?
Yeah, I got a couple of streams on one of my remixes, and it's gone alright.
All right.
Yeah, it's gone.
Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about that little.
So that was honestly just another remix that I was doing at the time. I was, just like exploring this new sound, and it came across my desk from the guys at Central Station. And yeah, it just went from there. And I was like traveling in America at the time, and I actually met up with Starly's manager just randomly. And then she started emailing me, and she was like, yo, dude, your remix is like blowing up on Spotify. And I couldn't see it because it's like the Australian version was like, there was like something on the back there that was wrong. But in America, it was on like 20 million streams, and I had like no idea. And then it just kept climbing.
Climbing. And it's just one of those amazing stories.
Yeah.
Now tell me about your story, because you are South African originally. So tell me, let's go back all the way back. How did you get where you are now? Because I'm guessing you just didn't wake up one day and said, hey, I'm just going to be a DJ or remixer. So tell me about how you got into and where you're like, how you started out in your field.
I always had this passion for music, like from when I was young, and I think because I'd done a bit of like traveling backwards and forwards between Australia and South Africa when I was a kid. When I moved back to South Africa the second time, I think, I met a friend at school there, and his brother was a DJ, and I saw the turntables, and I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And
How old were you then?
15, 16, around there.
Love it.
Yeah, and I just fell in love, and I was obsessed, and I went and got turntables, mixer, records, like spent all my dad's money. That was fun. He was very supportive there, and just kept it going and just like making noise.
So basically as a teenager you were just honing your craft like most kids do in your bedroom.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
How long was it before you decided, hey, I want to get out there, I want to start showing my stuff? What was it?
I don't know. I was I think I was just DJing for a while, and there were a couple of DJ competitions, and I entered one at this like random bar in South Africa, and these guys came up to me. I didn't win the competition, but these guys came up to me afterwards and like, yeah man, like your music would really suit this one nightclub. So I just took it as like, oh cool, they're from the nightclub.
Yeah.
So I just went to the nightclub, and like started trying to talk to them, and eventually got a gig there after doing the lights for one of the DJs. Like I was literally just pressing the strobe lights on and off. And then he had to go early one night, and I had a set, and
and the rest is history. Yeah. So that's a great story. So basically, you were there.
I was just there, loving the music, just trying to get it in. Didn't care about getting paid. Nothing. I was like, I just need to be doing this.
That's awesome, and that's great, man. And then from there, you sort of just stayed in Johannesburg DJing.
I studied. I went to school, into college, and I actually studied like advertising and graphic design. So I did that for 3 years, all the while still doing music and stuff, like just loving music, and also starting production around about now, just messing around.
Did you ever work in advertising? Did you ever
We
do
did,
that?
yeah. So our first year after college, me and 4 friends started like a little media company, and like I was like the main designer, and we had this great idea for doing like advertising, and yeah, it all sort of was going okay for the first year, but then one of our friends passed away, unfortunately, and we all decided to take a break.
Yeah, that'll do it too.
Yeah, so we all went to London, and while I was in London, I was still trying to...
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. Yeah, so you went to the motherland. You went right to the heart
went to London,
music,
pretty much. It was around about the time where funky house was just starting to emerge.
Yeah.
Around about the time, like body rockers, I like the way you move, like that era is when I was there. And I was just like being exposed to all this music, and I was like, wow, I need to DJ more, and I need to produce more, and just kept going.
Obviously that had a big influence on your sound. Obviously you immersed yourself in that scene.
It did.
And is that where you sort of then you decided, as well as DJing, is this when you started, I need to get out there and make shit?
Yeah, I mean, I was making music, like, not very good at that stage, I was still hitting up all the record labels. I was making hard house, like, tidy tracks, Nuclear's, more piccato type stuff, and I loved it, but I definitely wasn't anywhere as good as I needed to be for that. So I mean, I was still hustling, but no.
Basically, yeah,
success.
hustling.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like we all do, we hone our craft and we sort
Exactly.
of start to move. So you're in London. You're doing this.
In London doing that, then I moved back to South Africa. Now, while I'm in South Africa, I'm working, doing some graphic design stuff and some marketing stuff. Still doing music.
I was going to say, still doing music. That's cool.
Yeah, still doing music. And then I just had this urge to go back to Australia. I was like, you know what? I've got an Aussie passport. The scene in South Africa is not as big as like I want, so let's go try Australia. And
Oh,
yeah.
cool. And you were with your partner at the time. You decided to come over, or
No,
you just,
I was
you're
solo, riding solo.
So you
yeah.
had no friend. You just came on your own, or did you have
I
a
had
friend?
some friends from school when I was like living here from when I was a kid, but I mean, it's pretty much started.
So you
fresh.
basically rocked up to Australia, what, with a case full of, I mean,
Yeah, I
records?
didn't even bring my
Or-
records because it was like just on the verge of CDJs.
Well, nowadays, with a hard
just
drive and a
USB.
USB, and
Exactly.
just thought, just Melbourne straight away, or did you travel the coast? What
No, I was
brought
just
you here to Melbourne?
straight in Melbourne. Like we originally lived in Melbourne,
Yeah, okay.
so I thought, you know what, let's go there. I knew a few people, and then I just,
And the fact the scene here is pretty cool, pretty strong.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a big, and
There's a big scene. Yeah.
here.
I mean, I did my research, and this was back in the MySpace days, and actually got a funny story. You can ask my friend Shawnee B about that. He said I hit him up on MySpace. You know, this was like the flaunted era when it was like
flaunted, yeah.
massive. And he was like, yeah, I remember this weird South African kid hitting me up on MySpace and saying I'm moving to Australia and he wants to work. And nothing ever eventuated from that, but many years later we finally connected and like
And
talked
you
about
said,
that
you're
story.
the South African kid.
Exactly.
Oh, that's fantastic. So again, you're back at how you were in London. You're obviously here trying to get working,
Yes.
making some money, but also hustling the clubs, trying to play clubs. Did you
Yeah, I was
start
just
playing
hitting up all
clubs?
the record labels. I think I started hitting up record labels when I first got you. I was playing a little bit, but nothing on a big scale. And I hit up guys at like Vinyl Pusher Records, and like they were just a record store like
Yeah.
in Paran. So I went there and I was like, hey guys, what's up? Like I want to do some remixes and I want to work, So I was doing graphic design for them for some of the artwork. Met some of the DJs, and then
Okay, that was your gateway.
that was my gateway.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. And so it's like, so I started working with the Vinyl Pusher crew and then doing a lot of remixes. And one of my remixes was for Nick Coleman, Faces of Meth. And that was also a big club tune. And from that, I got the attention of Nick Coleman himself.
Fantastic.
And he was like, hey man, do you want to come play at 2 floors up at TFU? And it's, that's how I sort of
That's
started
awesome,
on
man.
my journey.
So obviously by now you're really your craft. You're sort of your
Yeah, now I'm DJing, I'm making music that's getting released, and people are enjoying it.
Did you, when you started this journey, did you see you making a career from it? Is this, I know you went to uni and, a lot of people do that and they do the side hustle, they do music, and there's very few people that go, hey, this is what I do. Obviously, did you have that driving, that passion, that desire, this was going to be something that you'll want to make a
It
living
had to
from?
be 100%. It had to be that thing that was going to bring home the bacon, in the long run. I mean, I was always aware, you had to make money somehow to pay the bills, but, until the
Yeah, we all work bars, we all do things, we all do the odd jobs, but I mean, and what are you working on now? Like, where's your career now? Because I know you're in a pretty exciting place. I know you're doing a lot of remixes.
Yeah, still doing a lot of remixing, doing a lot of originals.
A lot of writing and
yeah,
that,
a lot of writing.
And do you do collab? Do you collab with anybody?
Yeah, working with a few writers and a few other producers. Yeah, definitely working with a few there.
And what's on the horizon?
I've got a couple of originals that we're trying to line up, and there's a deal on the table, so I'm just waiting to sign.
Nice.
So as soon as that comes to fruition, I'll be able to talk about
And if
that.
people want to hear your stuff, because this is really important, because Ryan's stuff is awesome. If they want to hear, you obviously have a SoundCloud or Spotify.
Yes.
How do they hit you up to listen to some of these remixes?
All your favorite places, YouTube. Just Google Ryan Riback on Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram, just wherever you listen to music, Apple Music,
And I'm sure
all those cool
2019
places.
is going to be big, man.
Yeah, well, it's pretty good so far. Got some
Yeah.
good things, like on the horizon, like you said, and
It's
gonna be
exciting times. Music at the moment is exciting because it's in its change of evolution. It's all constantly changing, and everyone's got their little. We're in a great space because everyone's got their own little corners. You know what I mean? There's no, and everyone's sort of crossing over slightly, which is really nice too. So, and like you said, Melbourne's a great city to
it's
make
a really
music,
good
music
creative hub.
Yeah, and do you find there's a good camaraderie? Do you find that a lot of people like are very open to working with people in the song?
I have had mixed experiences in that. I'd love to say I've met some great people who are really open to collab, but on the flip side, I've found people are very closed off and trying to, do their own thing and like, oh, you might take it away from me, like we can't work together.
But that's life. I reckon that's just in general. That's how it is in business. It's in music. Some people are very open. Some people are very closed. But I'm a big believer, like attracts like, and you end up working with people you like anyway.
Correct,
so there's no point working with anybody that you don't want to work with.
Correct.
Oh, thanks, Ryan. Oh, thanks for coming in.
Easy.
And